Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about. And in this video, I just want to talk about this topic of exploration versus exploitation of what we already know. And I've been thinking about this because, I love, of course, I love machine learning, and I'm into all of this AI stuff. And I love seeing how some of the ML concepts actually translate into other areas of life. And I love to see how that works, whether for ML concepts or algorithms. And I just love it because it's part of my job. And I just find it really interesting to apply all of these concepts, that if you study them, uh, like you only think to apply them to like the specific area in which you studied them, but then you can generalize them to um, other areas and apply them there. And I just think that that's super interesting because we often don't think to apply some concepts from, like, to port concepts from one area to another area. And I just think that brings a lot of value, especially when it comes to machine learning concepts or algorithms concepts, because uh, they have a very mathematical approach to them, and I love that. And you're able actually to quantify things that you thought you wouldn't be able to quantify, or basically it gives you a new frame of how to think about stuff. And yeah, basically this explore exploit dilemma or trade-off is one that's very common in machine learning. And basically it's about learning, like uh, deciding how much to allocate to training your model, and then how much to allocate to testing your model. I find that very interesting because when you apply it to other areas in life, I've noticed that people who get stuck, or like not people, organizations and like things that seem inflexible in life, uh, is more often tied to the fact that they are over optimizing or basically over indexing on the exploit side, and then they forget to explore. I mean, on the short term, the exploit side will definitely have its benefits, but over the long term, if you don't allocate some of your time to explore different areas and explore new ways to do things, then basically you're kind of dooming yourself to to failure, or basically not being able to adapt to the changes. And obviously we know that the only constant in life is that things will change, and so we know for sure that everything changes, and we don't know how, we don't know when, we don't know any of that stuff. It's just that we know that it will. And I just find that very interesting. And if we don't embrace change when it's time to embrace change, we might fall into the trap of the many people that have come before us, that have walked this life and basically thought that like basically were inflexible in their way of approaching life. And I think this is something that happens very often. Like, for example, when you're young, you learn all of these new ideas and you're able to adapt to these new ideas. And then, like, once these ideas become mainstream, you start to take them for granted. And so you start to think that this is the only way to view life. And you forget that actually when you had started, the ideas were not as widely accepted. And you also forget that change is the only thing that we can guarantee in this life. And so basically you fail, like you think you attach, like you get too attached to the idea itself rather than to the flexibility around the idea. So I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to get too attached to any idea in particular. I just like to get attached to like to have a framework of thinking about things and approaching different sorts of problems that I can adjust over time based on any new information that I gather, and to remain flexible and always be willing to question my assumptions and basically uh, adjust if my assumptions are no longer met. And I hope, I mean, that's how I think I'm doing at this point. Don't I don't know if that's actually true. I mean, I certainly hope that it is. That's the impression that I am under. But I hope that this is something that will stick with me throughout my life, is just to stay agile and willing to learn and willing to change. Maybe that's very easy for me because right now I'm young. I'm 25, so relatively young in the grand scheme of things. But there is this temptation that if I see that things are the same maybe for 10 years, then my brain will start to make the shortcut that things will always be the same, and that's not true. And that's something to be very weary of. And actually, that's kind of the reason that I'm doing this YouTube thing, is that I'm trying to stay accountable, basically have a feedback loop on myself, where I can look back and see change happening, even though when it's actually happening in my life, it's imperceptible. And the whole point of these videos is for me to be able to look back and see how far or how much I've changed, and basically just try to be aware of the little changes that are happening, and know that even though changes are very, very, very small, over the long term, small changes accumulate, and hopefully that will be reflected in the quality of these videos, maybe in the way that I'm speaking or that I'm sharing my ideas. And hopefully that will also reflect in other areas of my life, whether it's friendships, career, other things. But I think the main reason I'm doing these videos is mainly to be able to look back, to have like a physical record of my past, and that's something that I wish I had for the past few years, because I have a memory of how things felt, but it's very unreliable, in the sense that I'm not able to like listen to myself talk again. And yeah, I really don't want to uh, miss out on this opportunity to learn from my past self. And so yeah, I really truly love these videos, and I think, yeah, I just want to keep doing them for as long as I possibly can, maybe for life. Let's see. Let's see uh, how this goes. But for now, I'm just taking it one day at a time, doing these videos, reflecting on these on things that are happening in my life, and overall sharing any ideas that cross my mind that I take note of throughout the day. That's why I'm looking down. I'm looking at my phone, looking at my notes app, So today, as some of the highlights, I had an accountability call with Alison from the Part-Time YouTuber Academy team, which is Ali Abdallah's team. And honestly, I just love these talks with Alison, like the 15 minutes long, but they bring me a lot of value in terms of having someone to talk about YouTube specifically with, because I don't really know anyone from my real life who is pursuing such a thing, and so it's uh, it's good to have someone to talk to about these things, and it just feels like normal. And also today was super cool because it turns out that they're in Marbella, which is a city that I visit almost every summer with my family. I mean, I usually go to the, like, not specifically Marbella, but sometimes Marbella, sometimes Fuengirola, which is like a 25 kilometers away from Marbella in the south of Spain. And yeah, it's just because it's in the south of Spain, and it's really easy for us from Morocco to drive uh, from Morocco to the south of Spain with the car, and just spend like 15 days there. This is like a family long like tradition that I've, not tradition, but this is our go-to, I guess, vacation place because my mom likes it. And actually, we've grown to like it too. I mean, there were some years where me and my sisters were like uh, tired of going to the same place, but then when COVID hit and we couldn't go, we really missed it. And so, yeah, last year was the first time we had gone back in probably the past 3 years, because before COVID we also didn't go because we traveled I think to Brazil with my family, and so yeah, it was interesting. But anyway, just to go to what I was saying, I keep on diverging and going on tangents, but that's life for you. Um, yeah, Alison was telling me that they are in Marbella, so like I just sent her some like some of my Google Maps lists of location. I guess how do you call them? Uh, Location pointers. I don't know. But I guess like of some places that I know that are good in that area in Marbella and in Fuengirola. And yeah, it was cool, to be able to help with that, because I love that place. It's and I've been going there for probably 10 years, at least 10 years in a row, probably more than that, because yeah, way more than that, probably like 15 years by now. I keep saying 10 years, but that was when I was like 20. Now I'm 25, so I forget to add on years as I grow older. Like I just feel like I'm still the same age. So it takes me some time for my age to catch up to me in my head. So yeah, I'm trying to feel old, but I'm not really old. I'm just 25, so I'm older than I used to be, and that's normal. But yeah, just yeah, I'm not sure. That's an interesting topic, like age. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna close this off here for the day. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one that I filmed yesterday, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. I hope you have a fantastic rest of day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!